What's up, guys? This is Lawrence O'Neill. I'm out here at the baseball diamond just walking, getting some fresh air, and I just wanted to share some thoughts that I've been having over the last week. Yesterday I left the White House and I was, was there with my grandmother, was able to take my grandmother to the White House, Easter egg roll, some of my little cousins, and some other kids from my mentorship group. And it was a great day, wonderful day. Weather was nice. Started off a little rough, but turned out nice. We were able to go see the monuments. We were able to see the cherry blossoms, and then took the kids and my grandmother over to Georgetown. Got some lunch, did some bowling, and had a great time. Was able to show them some monumental experiences to kind of give them some vision and show them what they can do with their life. And if they never give up on their dreams. So today I'm out here. I'm just out here walking around, getting some fresh air, getting my thoughts clear. Last week it was the end of 48 days of focus for me. I had 48 days where I just honed in on a few major goals. I have tons of goals. We all have tons of goals, but I listened to this interview, and the interview was talking about how it was from the guy that started Keller Williams Realty, and he has a new book out called The One Thing. And it was a good interview. I really enjoyed it. And, there's a lot of things we focus on, but oftentimes the one thing that'll make all the difference in the world kind of gets lost and mixed up in all of the day-to-day activities, all of the demands and people's requests and the things that people want us to do and want us to focus on. And what I've come to realize is that most people, they have many things going on. They might not even have a purpose. They might not have even discovered their purpose, let me say. They definitely have a purpose. But they may not have discovered their purpose. So they might not have a vision of what's next to come. They might not have a vision of what they need to be focused on. So, they'll do everything in their power to distract you. And when you try to get them involved with discovering their purpose or walking in their purpose and their gifts, they have no desire to really even walk that path because they don't have a clear direction. So, the interview was great because it kind of enlightened people to understand that, there's one thing that you really should be focusing on at a time. And that one thing that you should be focusing on in the current moment is probably going to be that one thing that'll make the biggest difference in all the other things that you do after you do that one thing. And that's a really phenomenal concept because a lot of times we think that we're multitasking or we have multiple gifts and talents, and a lot of times we take pride in being busybodies or being some people say, I'm just hustling, I'm just trying to make the next move, I'm trying to take it to the next level. And honestly, sometimes hustling and taking it to the next level is kind of counterproductive to you honing in and focusing on the one thing, focusing on the main thing. So today I just wanted to create a little video and talk about the one thing that I'm focused on. The one thing that there's many things that I've done and accomplished. There's many things that I will continue to accomplish. But there's one thing I took 48 days to focus on exclusively. And to be honest with you, I'm probably about to go back in and take some more time and focus on it. So my one thing is early retirement, financial freedom, getting free, getting out the rat race. I'd like to think that I've taken the concept to another level, what I call lifestyle freedom, meaning there's a lot of people that have a lot of money in the world, but they still don't have lifetime freedom because they have not managed their life. They have not strategically aligned their life and strategically designed their life so that way they can enjoy the fruits of their labor, enjoy the fruits of their sacrifice, enjoy time with their kids, enjoy doing meaningful activities with loved ones and family members. A lot of people have not taken the time to actually, they may have a lot of money, but they don't have time freedom. They don't have passion about the things that they're still doing in their time. And there are many causes, there are many needs in the world. And if you have all the money in the bank but still don't know how to direct your energy and direct your focus, then you still don't have lifestyle freedom. You know, you still have tons of obligations that might not even be aligned with your purpose anymore. So my primary focus right now is designing my lifestyle freedom and designing my financial freedom. So that way I can actually get through with running around having to please everybody and actually focusing on my main purpose in life, which is giving back and helping people, helping kids, teaching people mutual understanding and respect, teaching other people how to discover their purpose. And so at the end of the day, I'm focused on getting those things done so I can leave my legacy and leave an impact in the world. But without discovering and focusing on and locking in and achieving that one thing, there'll always be struggle. There'll always be conflicts of interest. There'll always be conflicts of time, conflicts of priorities, conflicts of people thinking that, or people complaining and griping and thinking that you're not doing what you need to be doing because you have not educated them to understand what the one thing is that would then give you the ability to live out your purpose. And you haven't set an example for them so that way they can focus on their one thing that'll help them then be able to walk into their purpose. So a lot of people have one thing, but a lot of times, even if they think they know the one thing, that one thing might not really be the one thing because, to tell you the truth, you know I have a lot of people, a lot of friends that they'll tell me what they want to do with their time, what they want to do with their life, what they want to spend their life doing, and they have 40 other side hustles so that way they can achieve that goal of doing the thing they want to do. But then, you know, you got 50 different side hustles and you take it to the next level and you got this business, that business, different things going on. But, you know, if you're not carving out time to actually focus on that one thing, the primary thing, and a lot of times we want to jump in and we want to do the thing that'll give us joy, that'll give us excitement, but sometimes you need to step back and focus on the building blocks towards that thing. So for me, financial freedom, lifestyle freedom, that allows the individual, including myself, the ability to then turn around and not have to jump from side hustle to side hustle, not have to jump from this, that, and the third, not have to relocate because I have financial struggles, not having to have a boss, excuse me, not having to have a boss relocate me because they are focused on their one thing and that company's focused on their bottom line. So then, you know, I got to relocate from state to state and city to city. So then that way I can, you know, hopefully scrounge up enough resources to then get back to my one thing. So for me, one of the biggest one things for me personally, I personally believe that it should be almost everybody's number one thing. You know, there's a lot of building blocks that can be one things at a time. But once you get financial freedom and get lifestyle freedom into place, and you make that your one thing, then all of a sudden, you have time to then make the next one thing, uh, you know, maybe serving in your community, or maybe uh, teaching your kids a certain hobby or skill or craft. But without that one thing, the main one thing, you'll be starting and stopping with everything else that you do. So um, I really would love to see a lot of my friends, family members, focus on that one thing and focus on getting out of the rat race, because the system was not designed for us to be contented with this system. This system was designed, we're in the information age, but this system was not designed for us to uh, retire at the age that the president decided we were going to retire at. This system wasn't designed for us. It was designed for us, but so many people have actually opted in as if that's supposed to be their lifestyle, as if that's supposed to be the end-all be-all. I'm going to work to this age. I'm going to work in this plant, in this facility. When I get off work, I'm going to go home. I'm going to sit on the couch. I'm going to enjoy family time with the kids, family time with my wife, my husband. And then I'm going to get off from that. Then I'm going to put my time in, go to the gym, struggle, and break my bad habit of sitting around, or break my bad eating habits. So it's a fight to go to the gym. I don't believe life was supposed to be lived like that. I think you should find the activity that is a physical activity that gives you your energy, gives you your fitness, but it's the activity that you actually enjoy to do. I think it should be, instead of trying to eat healthy and go on a diet, I think that you should make lifestyle choices and changes that actually allow you to eat the foods that you enjoy to eat that are healthy foods, instead of trying to psych yourself up to eat something because somebody told you it was good to eat. Well, there's a lot of foods that are good to eat that you don't like. So why live a lifestyle dieting or budgeting? Why not create a spending plan so you can actually spend towards your purpose, spend conscientiously and do personal asset allocation, personal capital allocation, so that way you'll end up in your business and you'll end up in your company, and then you do capital allocation there that allow you to then turn around and be doing your passion and your purpose without a budget, but your spending plan will allow you to do it with joy and satisfaction and fulfillment, instead of dieting, instead of I gotta get home and spend time with these kids. I gotta get home and put that time in with the wifey. We gotta have date night. Well, I like date night. I think date night is a good concept. I think you should have some private time that's guaranteed to be locked away for your wife or your husband. But more importantly, I think that we should actually just enjoy the person that we're with, period. If I don't like that person, if that person's not my best friend, then there's no amount of daytime on the planet that's going to make me enjoy my time with that person, period. So I would rather be waking up to the person that I love being around. I love to wake up to the person that I'm glad that I had kids with, So I think there's a lot of fundamental things that we need to focus on instead of secondary and third things that we have little formulas for success, or little things that we want to check boxes that we want to check off, instead of actually sitting down and thinking about what's the one thing if I were to do this one thing. Maybe instead of looking for your wife or looking for your girlfriend or fiance, looking for them to get ready for date night and be on time, maybe the one thing needs to be, let me focus on serving them. Let me focus on doing everything in my power to do my part first before I sit back and start griping about what they're doing and what they're not doing. Let me make sure I did everything that I can do in an attitude of gratitude, humility, and service towards them. And do it because I love them. Do it because they're my friend. They're somebody that I want to be around. I want to see them happy. And maybe that's the one thing, you know. Now, personally, I think that if I didn't select the right person in the first place, I don't know if any one thing is going to really solve that problem. But, you know, considering the fact, if I feel like I've selected the right person, that's step number one. But if I really feel like I've done that, and things might be slipping a little bit, instead of focusing on, you know, the wifey says she wants me to be home from work, I gotta let my boys know I gotta go on in the house. No, why not focus on the one thing, which is just loving that person and treating that person in the small things. Thank you, please, you're welcome, I appreciate you. Small things that allow me to demonstrate my love and show them that my actions speak louder than words. It's not just hollow talking that I'm doing. So, like I said, there's a lot of one things, but I personally think there's one thing that comes first, including my health and my strength, my physical, mental wellness and mental health. But the physical one thing should be asset allocation and financial freedom. What am I doing to position myself so that way I can then put the other one things in the other categories in my life, and then as I'm building and living that life and I'm focusing on the main one thing, maybe getting my wife, my kids, my girlfriend, my fiance, getting them involved with the one thing. So that way I'm not only doing one thing, but I'm also teaching them how to prioritize. You know, this lifestyle takes a lot of sacrifice. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were acting like what I was saying was kind of crazy, because they're talking about how, you know, they want their loved ones to be happy, right? And I want my loved ones to be happy too. But sacrificing shouldn't mean, and living a lifestyle of sacrifice doesn't mean that all of a sudden we can't be happy. That's a mindset. That's a stronghold of your mind that says, I have to be loose and free. And as long as I feel like I'm not sacrificing, then I'm happy. So why not teach your family members, teach your kids, teach your spouse, your friends? Why not teach them why not demonstrate for them how to sacrifice towards your goals? And then once I sacrifice towards my goals, I'm happy in the process. Why not teach them that it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing? And as I heard one speaker say, anything that leaves my life doesn't leave my life. Anything that leaves my life with how do you say that? Anything that leaves my life with a desired focus, a targeted focus, it doesn't leave my life, but it only goes into my future. So instead of it being a loss, you know, this thing went out the window. But no, it didn't go out the window. It's going from one pocket over to the other pocket, one category to the other category, one segment of time over to the future segment of time. And I think if we can learn to do that, but the problem is a lot of times we have people around us, you know, we live in a society where everybody wants everything free. They want everything now. They want everything fast. They want everything that somebody else has. They want something that they didn't earn. They have an entitlement mentality where, you know, I woke up today, so the bottom line is I deserve to be happy. And I'm going to do whatever I got to do, whether it's step on somebody, talk smack about somebody behind their back, make up lies, do whatever I need to do to get what I need to be happy. That's called an entitlement mentality. And quite honestly, it disgusts me personally, but this is the world that we live in. A lot of people have this mindset. And, one of the hardest things that I feel like a lot of us need to learn, including myself, is learn how to, when I was growing up, people would try to tell you, say, you need to not be confrontational. Well, I disagree with that concept because I think it's better to say you should be confrontational about certain things. Just make sure that you're not confrontational about everything. If you're confrontational about everything, you're just an angry man or angry woman. If you're confrontational about everything, you got anger management problems. But if you have selective confrontation, meaning taking issues head on, meaning if I have a husband, wife, girlfriend, fiance, kids, and I see my kids doing something that's going to land them in prison, I need to confront that. If I got a girlfriend who means well but doesn't have integrity, doesn't do what she says she's going to do, I need to confront that right now, because what made me think that if I don't confront that, 10 years from now, that's the very thing that's going to cause us to be in divorce court. Because, that person said they love you, but they don't ever follow through with their word. They disappoint every other day. So I think there's some things that we should confront. So my challenge is to you, can you and will you make a commitment to ask the people around you, to ask the people in the victory team, to ask the people like me to hold you accountable. Ask the people, ask your family, ask your friends to hold you accountable to a higher standard, to hold you accountable to your deadlines and your goals and your dreams. Because when you get out the rat race, you don't have a boss over your neck threatening you to lose your job or giving you innuendos that, hey, we can do just fine without you. You have me, myself, and I, and the relationships that you build when you get out the rat race. You have to say, hey, let me find people that will hold me accountable, that will confront me in a respectful way, in a polite way. I have so many people that say they're my friends, and the second you say one little thing, you can't even say, hey, brother, I thought that we were going to do X, Y, and Z. Second you say one thing, they mad. They, and then lashing out or flipping out. You're like, well, friends should be able to be open and honest with each other. So my challenge to you is, first of all, make sure you got goodwill in your heart, kindness, patience, sacrifice, accountability, integrity. But then the second thing is to make sure that you surround yourself with people that you can ask, and they don't mind, and they even encourage them. Ask them to join you on the journey. Ask them to say, hey, can we do this together? Can we have goodwill, but at the same time, having fun, having goodwill, having a great lifestyle, having big goals and dreams, and pursuing things. But in the process, hold each other accountable to sacrifice, to make tough decisions, to be honest with each other and real with each other. If I can't have people like that around me, I don't want nobody around me, because the world is getting real crazy. We got a lot of stuff going on. I don't need to get into that, because obviously we all know what's going on and the things people are scared of. But the only way out is to take things head on and be a little confrontational. So, to me, man, it's getting a little chilly out here. The weather was beautiful yesterday, but now today it's a little breezy. But I think one of the main things I want you to take from this is, are you willing to be emotionally emotionally mature? Are you willing to say, you know what? I want emotional maturity. And anything that's not going my way, yeah, sometimes people do things to you. Sometimes things aren't fair. But to be honest with you, I've been on this path for about 16 years now. Not on the path of actually applying everything that I know. I've been on that path for 6 years now, where I'm determined to apply every single thing that I know. But before that, it took me several years to learn a couple languages, to study a couple languages. I don't know if I've actually learned it. I learn it and it goes away because maybe I'm a little mentally challenged, I don't know. But maybe I'm probably not immersed in different countries. So it took me about 8 or 9 years to go through my mentorship process, being mentored by several phenomenal, extraordinary people, reading, studying, going to conferences, read over 1,200 books in the course of an 8-year period, 7 to 8 year period, 1,200 books, because I wanted to double one of my mentor's goals. His goal was to read 600 books, and he did. So I wanted to double that. So I said, if he changed his life by learning and growing, I'll just do everything he did times 2. Anything that I think is a good principle, I'll just double up, double down, as they say. So it took me years to figure out, to understand finance and business and marketing. Now we got social media marketing, understand human resources, innovation. So I've been on this journey a while. But the thing is, there's a lot of people that I love and admire and adore. And it's funny because before they got on the path of trying to better themselves, before they got on the path of starting a business, they probably, as I say, they probably was a little bit more gangster than me. When I say gangster, for all y'all that don't understand that language, hardcore. No limit, ride or die. No excuse. Perseverance, commitment, loyal. There are people that love them dearly. Set up their goals, try to achieve their goals, but they let life, kind of like that elephant, circus that when there's a baby, put a chain around his leg, they jump out, the elephant realizes he can't go far. Then as they get older, they take the chain off, and the elephant still don't go nowhere because the elephant mentally is still entrapped, thinks that I got chains on my legs. So you have people that talk about being gangster, talk about big goals and dreams, talk about finding their purpose, talk about sacrifice, being willing to make the sacrifice, talk about brotherhood, friendship, family, talk about God, talk about love, kindness, goodness, patience. But then, if you look at what their actions say, you look at what their words say, they don't match up, because the second you try to get in a relationship with them, or the second you start getting serious, or the second you get into a partnership with them, or the second you have a conversation with them, they got all these, and these aren't even like big excuses. These are things that they might not even realize they're doing. These are things that, they'll they'll tell you they're trying to start this business or they're trying to do X, Y, and Z, or they're trying to get in this relationship, and they'll have these concepts like, my mama always told me to love somebody that loved me more. Or mama always told me to make sure I got my own little stash set aside. Or they'll tell you that they want to start a business, but they got to do some more research. They got to research. They researching stuff. The same opportunity, they researching that for years and years and years. It doesn't take years to research. It takes, intelligent research, but the same opportunity you studying for years and years and years, or the same relationship, you're doing the same childish things. Second you start caring about somebody, you disappear. Or the second you start caring about somebody, you start, needing them to say certain things to affirm you. Well, affirmation is good, but when you do it to play a game or to play who gonna love who first, who gonna call who first, who gonna do a nice deed first. How about this? How about who gonna, I'm gonna get them a gift, but I'm not gonna spend more money than they spend on me. Well, I understand that concept. You don't want to invest in things and I guess there's no return. I guess I understand it in a way. But what I'm saying is, if you love somebody, there's some things that are good. Some things are just purely good. So if you love somebody, why not say, I'm going to double down and I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure this person knows I love them. That's called being gangster. That's called keeping it gangster, being gangster in all that you do. You see a good opportunity, a good investment. You see an opportunity to get out of the rat race. You see an opportunity to do something good for your family. You see an opportunity to walk in your purpose and your dreams. And you want to pity pat around instead of doubling down. Say, let me be like Jordan. Let me be like Whitney Houston. Let me be like Bruce Lee. Let me be like Pavarotti. Let me be like, who else? Walt Disney, Richard Branson. Let me be like the Wright brothers, Dr. King. These people didn't just pity-pat around. They invested in their purpose and their talent so much. They invested in their gift so much. And it was an investment in themselves. So when Dr. King opened his mouth, people wanted to hear and understand what he had to say. And his lifestyle and his worldview became a worldview that changed the entire world. It changed the greatest country in the world. And then that changed the entire world. We wouldn't even have freedom in other countries if it weren't for people like Dr. King changing this country first. So, do you think that Dr. King said, let me be a better person, and then I'm going to just sit around and pity-pat? Or did Dr. King say, you know what? I need to take this on the road, double down, and spread my message out. I need to go out there and convey the message and help everybody else understand that it's not a game. It's real out here in the field. It's not even a game right now. So we need change. So this is gangster. So my thing is, I love lots of people. There are people I love dearly. But in my mind, in my heart, I can tell that they have lost their gangster. And that really makes me sad. So my third challenge to you on this video is to get your gangster back. Whatever you got to do. I've skydived, I've whitewater rafted, bungee jumped. I did a lot of things. It's not because I'm special. It's not because I'm better than anybody else. It's because I understood where my areas of limitation were. So I understood that in order to, there's a saying that says if you want to do something you want something you never had, you got to do something you never done. So I decided that to get out of that circle, the comfort circle, every good thing that you want is right outside of the comfort circle. So in order to get what I needed in my life, I had to do everything that I was afraid of doing. I had to boldly go and do it. So skydiving, bungee jumping, I remember I walked down the snake aisle in the pet store. As a kid, I wouldn't even go to the pet store because I didn't like snakes. But I said no. The day I realized this concept, I got in my car, drove to the pet store, and walked down the snake aisle. Then I went to Miami, and you always got these guys on the beach holding these pythons and these yellow and white snakes trying to be cool and stuff like that. So I said, well, let me go to Miami purposely to find one of these guys that'll let me put the python around my neck, hold the python. So my whole point is, whatever it is you got to do to get out of your comfort zone and get your gangster back is what I want you to do. So fourth thing, and I'm about to wrap this up because it's getting a little chilly out here. Fourth thing I want you to do, I want you to move away from all drama, all toxic people. Move away from all family members, all friends that will continue. There are people that make mistakes. There are people that say things, hurt your feelings. There are people that say things that make you question what you feel. I thought we had a great relationship. Why are they saying what they're saying? They're coming out the blue, out the woodwork with something. And that's fine. That's one thing. People are allowed to make mistakes, so don't get rid of those people. But the people that in your heart continue to be toxic, continue to say things, and every time you got to go, everybody else clapping, and they sit back and they got to make a snide comment. They can't even be happy unless they're making a snide comment. Those are the people that need you to cut back. You don't have to, their family, they love them, that you love them. You don't have to, people say, cut them off and just not speak to these people altogether. You don't have to be ruthless and just be nasty, but you can limit your exposure to the hurtful things and the drama and the confusion that's been clouding your mind. You can decide that in your own personal environment, what you want to have is peace and clarity. So, fourth thing is cut back those toxic people. Cut them back to the point where it no longer impacts you and no longer brings your spirits down. Because your personal environment and your spirit and your state, the state that you are in psychologically and physiological and neurologically. Neuroscience is one of my favorite topics. Neuroscience and neurolinguistics. Your mind is your greatest asset. So if you got people in your environment bringing you down, holding you down because of things they say and do, you need to cut that back at least enough to where you can think clearly and do what you got to do and plan and build a team and achieve your goals. That's number 4. Number 5, last thing. I want want you to make a 100% commitment to never give up on yourself. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your goals. Never give up on the path of self-discovery. Never give up on the path of fighting, keeping your gangster, fighting towards fulfillment in the lifestyle and the internal lifestyle and then the manifestation of the physical lifestyle that you deserve. So my question to you is, listen to these 5 things. My question to you as I close this video is, are you in? Are you one of those people that I could count on? If I was sacrificing and you were sacrificing, can I call you up and say, hey, I need you to have my back. I got your back. I'll put this resource on the table. If you put that resource on the table, can we put resources on the table? Can we encourage one another? Can we build each other up? Can we give each other sound feedback in a confidential manner, in a discreet manner, not in a I got your back as long as we at the gala. I got your back as long as we are out somewhere at a fashion show. You know, these people kill me. You out and about, everybody want to take 5 million pictures, and everybody telling everybody, oh, this is my brother, this is my sister, this is my girl.